Hello, chosen ones. I had to come back. I thought about this. I'm always look. I thought about this. I got this message on the elliptical just now. Actually, I thought about this morning. Look, I thought about this morning, but I wanted to come deliver it. The message before before I forgot about it. So I'm on the elliptical. I'm just working my legs so I can hold the phone. But I thought about this, chosen ones. I thought about this. Um, Listen, I thought about this, and this is crazy when you're in situations and you're just trying to navigate, the dysfunction. You're trying to navigate and process the relationship, and you're just trying to navigate so many dynamics of, being in a dysfunctional relationship, right? So what I thought about was, and this happened to me on the job too. I thought about when you're dealing with toxic people, and when you're dealing with insecure people or people trying to attack your character, because as a chosen one, you have that light on you. Wherever you go, you have that light, right? When people really want to attack you, hi Tyrinia, when people really want to attack you, they're going to attack the area of your strength. They're going to attack the area where you're strongest in. So they're trying to break down that in you. If you're a confident person, they're going to attack your confidence, right? If you're a person with a beautiful smile, they're going to say, I don't like when you smile like that. They're going to always attack the place where you're the strongest. Yes, if you're a good mother, they're going to attack that area to try to make you feel bad. If you're a great cook, you always got some people complaining about certain things. Hey, Jacqueline, again, you got people complaining about certain things about you. I did get your email. I'll reply to it, dear, as soon as possible. Um, they will attack these areas. So you got to remember, you got to pay attention. You can't be so caught up in your emotions. Sometimes you got to listen to what people are saying. You have to listen to what they're saying without having your emotions involved. Because one thing about these people, they like to keep you emotional. Because if they keep you emotional, they could attack and they could bring on, these different emotions and have you running to and fro. Look, have you running to and fro like like a chicken with your head cut off, and have you in your thoughts and have you wondering, what you did, and you're trying to say, oh, I don't do that. You're trying to think to yourself, say for instance, you're confident and in yourself, you're confident in your skin, and somebody will say, well, you're arrogant, and you ask yourself, like, I'm not arrogant. I don't think I'm better than anyone. They'll try to attack those areas and they leave you wondering and thinking, am I really arrogant? No one ever said that to me about I'm arrogant. I don't go around thinking I'm better. I'm confident in myself, but I'm not arrogant. People will attack. Listen, I'm telling y'all, people will attack the areas where you're strong in so they could so they can um, diminish your character, so they could diminish who you are as a person. You feel good about yourself, you're happy, you're I was telling my daughter the other day, matter of fact, yesterday, we were headed to the gas station, and for some reason I just felt led to tell her. We were just talking, and I told her, I said, when I was younger, I know society has a standard of what beauty is. Society has a standard of what beauty is. And I know based on society's standard, I don't look the part, right? And what I told my daughter. But I said, you know what? I never felt ugly. I never felt like, I was an ugly person on the inside. I said, I never hated myself. I said, I never told myself, I hate you. I never spoke in those terms to myself. Even though on my worst days, when I told my daughter, I said, even on my worst days, I told her, I said, girl, you need to do something. You need to go, you need to go get some rest or something. But I was telling her, I really never had issues with how I look and how I feel. And I didn't feel like, I wanted to go have surgery or, do any of those things, So I was just telling her, and she said, Mom, I never felt that way either. I'm taking my wipe, I'm cleaning down the machine after I used it. But yeah, but one thing about people, they will try to get you. They'll try to get you. Whew, I'm tired here. Whew, they'll try to get you, make you feel insecure from within. They'll try to work on your character. Yes, yes, Jacqueline, I don't do that. Yeah, I don't do that. But see, when you're dealing with toxic people and people who are insecure with themselves, they'll try to project how they feel about them onto you. Have you ever noticed you got into these relationships or friendships and you got into these relationships and friendships before you got into it, you were all right. You never had an issue with you. You never had an issue with your self-esteem. You never questioned yourself. But as soon as you get with that person, guess what? Now all of a sudden you're questioning yourself. Hey, Michelle. Now all of a sudden you're questioning you're questioning yourself. You don't feel like, you look this type of way. You don't feel good about yourself. No, no, that's a lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. That's a lie from the enemy trying to come in and distort who you are. Yeah, I had a manager to do me like that one time, and I talked about that, you know, because I was working on that job as I was working unto God. She getting mad at me because I'm carrying an excellent spirit. I'm saying to myself, you should want somebody who's carrying this excellent spirit because it's going to make you look good. You know what I'm saying? We don't be understanding. We don't be understanding that. I said it's gonna make you look good if you got somebody on your team that's working with the excellent spirit. I'm done in the gym. I'm gonna get ready to go walking. I'm like, you should be glad you got somebody. Yeah, you should be glad you got somebody on your team that's operating in the spirit of excellence. Instead of sitting there getting mad and jealous and hating on somebody because they're working unto the Lord. They're not trying to compete. I wasn't trying to compete. I was just doing what I was hired to do. But yeah, people try to attack your character. So you have to be careful with that. As a chosen one, I just want to make sure before I forgot my thoughts and put in my stuff in here. Before I forget my thought, you have to be careful. Be careful for people always trying to attack little, and it's just small stuff they try to attack too. It's the small things that they try to attack. It's the small things. Yeah, the small things like like who you are, look, how you do certain things because they're trying to nitpick at your character and project insecurity into you. And I noticed that, over time with a few people, like, and sometimes people say things out of their mouth and they don't even look at themselves. They don't even look at themselves. Like, you can't fix your mouth to say something when you haven't looked at yourself. Because sometimes we can get a little, people can get a little forgetful. They get a little amnesia and forget. This is why I try not to judge people. I try not to judge people because you don't know, I ain't gonna say judge, but, make my little statements. Because you don't know what a person had to deal with. You don't know what they have going on. But I want to talk about specifically with toxic people, they'll jug and nitpick at certain things to try to bring your character down. And you have to be aware of this type of behavior because if you're not aware of this type of behavior, you'll take that thought and you'll take that on as it's your own. You'll take it on as it's your own thinking. You ever notice you have people that's always trying to project their beliefs onto you? You have people that wants to, they want to be you so bad. They always saying, I wouldn't do that if I was you. You know those type of people? I wouldn't do that if I was you. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. No, you wouldn't do it because you're not me. We're two separate people. That's why I'm doing this and you're not. This is what I want to do. You got to be careful with those types. I wouldn't do that if I was you. You got to be careful with those types that want you to be them. They want you to be them so bad. They'll project all of this venom and negativity, knowing you're nothing like that, but they'll project so much negativity. They want to make you listen, they want to make you into the monster they created in their head. That's why when people meet you and they see you and they pick up on your personality, that's why they leave scratching like, I don't think she no, I don't think she like that. I know people could hide well. Let me tell you, people could hide well, but you can't hide who you are. You can't hide your true self. I don't care how much you try to put on the mask. Your true self is going to come out. Your true self is going to come out. You cannot hide who you are forever. This is why you got to let time. This is why sometimes when you're dealing with tough situations and when you're dealing with toxic people, when you're dealing with people who are just out slandering you and making people turn up, turn against you, this is your best bet. Your best bet to do with these people in these situations is to go no contact. Your best bet, the best thing you could do is to go no contact with these people. That means you leave them to war with themselves. You leave them to war with themselves. You move yourself out of the picture. I know it hurts. God knows I know it hurts. I've been there. I've been there. You don't want to, you don't want to stop talking to people. You don't want to stop dealing with your loved ones because somebody else is in the midst of, creating dysfunction and chaos. No, you leave them to themselves and watch what happens. I don't care how many years go by. I don't care how many years go by. You leave them to themselves and watch what happens. Listen, watch what happens. Watch. Yes, they can hide it good. They're good at hiding stuff, Jacqueline, but it'll come out. It'll come out. Eventually, it will come out. One thing I've learned, see, people don't prepare you for this stuff. See, I'm gonna say people, but life. What I just said early in the other video, life gonna life. There was a first time for everything. There was a first time for everything. And if you're not secure and strong within yourself, you'll take all this stuff personal. You'll take it real personal. You'll see it as, oh, it's me. You'll have this little victim's mentality. You have this victim's mentality. Oh, it's me. Woe is me. And when you're navigating through life, you got to compartmentalize things, which means, can you control the situation? Can you control the people or the person and what they're doing? If you can't control the situation, you got to give that to God. You give it to God and you let the people be who they are. Because one thing about it, when you're dealing with toxic people and people who like strife and people who like keeping up confusion, they want you to run behind them. Yes, James. Oh yeah, you get to see it. Oh yeah, you get to see it. And I used to wonder too, growing up. I used to wonder why, and on certain, on a certain side of my family. I'm gonna say that on a certain side. I used to wonder why people didn't come around on certain, in certain dynamics of my family. I used to wonder why people didn't come around. But when you get older, you understand. You start understanding. You start understanding why people don't come around, why you don't never see certain people. Certain people never come around. And you go to wondering, and then you start putting two and two together, and you start wondering why. You start wondering why people don't want to deal. Yeah, and it's notorious in families, but people are so toxic. But what I was saying is, um, when you're dealing with these toxic individuals, you have to leave them to themselves because they want you to run behind them. They want you to try to, you know, they just want you to be the fixer of everything. They want you to be the one to initiate the conversation. They want you to be the one to, fix stuff. No. No, no, no. In this season, if you know you didn't do anything to people, you leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. If you know you're not the one that's creating the problem, it's time for you to walk away. And it's okay. Don't be afraid to walk away. You're not going to feel lonely. You're not going to be lonely. You probably be alone, but you're not going to be lonely. You'll be at peace. You'll be at peace. You don't have to worry about all this chaos and confusion. You'll be at peace. Yes, you will. Your peace is priceless. Your peace is priceless. It's priceless. You can't put it. It's just priceless. But these toxic individuals want you to be them so bad. And then you look at their lives. You look at them. You look at their life. No, just toxic people. God's chosen one. You know, because toxicity. Everybody. Just because a person is toxic don't mean they're a narcissist. You got a lot of toxic people just are toxic. It's almost like that word is interchangeable, but toxic is toxic. You don't have to put a name on it. Yeah, I like to say they demonic. 'Cause that's what it is. Let the devil use them. Let the devil get in them. And when you're dealing with these people, you leave them to themselves because they want to make your life miserable. If they can create chaos, if they can knock you off your guard, if they can knock you off balance, they'll do that. They want to create chaos. They can't live and thrive if they don't have negativity going on. You got some parents like that. They always want to keep the children at odds. Grandparents keeping the grandkids, turning the grandkids against each other, keeping putting one grandchild on a pedestal to make the other ones feel bad. Now that's narcissistic right there. That's narcissistic. Yeah, they wanna create a golden grandchild, a golden child. No, that's toxic. That's toxic. Then they want them children to be like them. You ever notice the children that they put on the pedestal? They go to looking like them, acting like them. That little evil spirit just pass right off on them to that grandchild. Pass right off on them to that child. Instead of letting them children be individuals and grow into their own identity, they want them to be like them. They want them kids to act and think like them, passing off them demons, you know, passing their demons along, trying to manipulate, get into their minds to think a certain way. Yeah, but they're gonna reap that when I tell you, no person leave this earth who have mistreated people, who got people to turn against, other folks in the family. When I tell you these people think they're gonna get away, they don't get away with that. Some of them paying right now, but they won't tell you. Some of them paying right now in their health, in their mental health. They're paying right now. They are paying right now as we speak. Oh, I understand, Pamela. Yes. And a lot of people are walking away. A lot of people are walking away from their families because, you know, the devil is busy. That's what I can tell you. The devil is busy. He's getting into families. He's getting into, um, it's a division. It's a division, the wheat and the tare, the sheep and the goat. You're going to still divide. And this don't have nothing to do with you going to church. Let's clear that up. This ain't got nothing to do with you going to church. This is a spiritual thing. This is not going to church because some of us raised up in a family, a church going, toxic people. They go to church every Sunday, and before they get out of church, they gossiping and talking about somebody. Don't know how to talk to people. Always got an attitude when they talk. Always seem like they're hollering and fussing. Nobody don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Your voice always on 10. You don't know how to talk like you got some sense. You don't know how to use your inside voice. You're always yelling. You're looking. You don't have time for that. Oh yeah, Patty, they thrive in the church. That's why God said you test people's spirit. You test the spirit. This ain't got nothing to do with I go to church every Sunday. You go to church every Sunday, but you still broke, busted, and disgusted. You still mean. You still got you a baby dad, not a baby dad. What it is, a side piece. That ain't got nothing to do with it. And don't get me wrong, we're all striving, but don't use because you go to church as a means of that's you righteous. No, you ain't righteous. You ain't righteous because you sing in the choir. That don't mean you righteous. I'm looking at your fruits. I'm judging the fruit. I'm testing the spirit. I'm judging the tree by the fruit it bears. You can go to church, but your fruit looks stank and rotten. You rotten. Hey, Dwayne. Oh, how are you doing, Dwayne? No, I just came on just telling folks, telling people in the beginning. I start a topic, Dwayne, and look, going to talk about other stuff. I start one topic and go on to, but we're talking about toxic people, and how they want to, how they always try to jug at your strengths. They'll pick apart your strengths to try to make you feel insecure, and they'll attack the place where you're strong at to attack that area, so you can let your guards down, so you won't think so high of yourself in that area. That's all. But we're just talking about toxic people, family, everything. We're talking about everything, Dwayne. How are you doing today? Guess what, Dwayne? I'm working on that book. I'm working on that ebook. That ebook that I mentioned the other day, I'm working on that. I was up all night. I went to sleep 3 o'clock last night working on that ebook. Yeah, he'll answer there. Yeah, he definitely answer through your prayers. He wants us to open our mouth. No one else prayers can do my prayers can help, but no one else could get to God. No one your my prayers can't get to God as quick as your prayers can. And you remember that. As long as you're opening your mouth and you ask God for what you want, your prayers will get there too. You don't need a third party. You don't need a mediator. You don't need a mediator. He said, ask and you shall receive. He didn't say you ask your pastor, your preacher, evangelist. He said, you open your mouth and ask. Oh, yeah, I've been working on that book, Dwayne. I have. I've been working on that book all night, an ebook. Yep. Yep. Been finding ways to, get it written. And it felt good. I got my little cover done. I started my little table of content. Oh, I'm working on that. Then I got another one. I'm not going to reveal the topic of that yet, but I'm working on that one also simultaneously with this one. But I'm going to focus on one thing at a time. I stopped the other one to work on this 5 ways to rise above petty office politics and become the leader you are destined to become or destined to be. So I'm working on that one. But I got a cute little cover on it and everything. But it'll be an ebook. It won't be, expensive. It'll be something where you can learn and get the information that you need from it. But yeah, you have to be careful. People just, when dealing with people, you have to know who you are. This is why I talk about healing. When you know who you are, I don't care what nobody says about you. They're not going to tell you who you are not because you know who you are. This is why I talk about healing. And unfortunately, the chosen ones, we be so lenient. I'm not gonna lie. I was like this. We be so lenient. We be confident in stuff and areas, but we'll let a person who's insecure with themselves, we'll let a person who's insecure, don't know who they are, come tear down our self-esteem. We do. We would. Because we just trying to be so, you know, we try to be so understanding. And through our understanding, we let these people creep in and just go straight for the jugular. They go straight for the jugular because it's our strength. It's our empathy. We're so empathetic. It's our empathy that these people could see and sniff out, and we give them a chance, and we give them a chance to be. We get an enemy a chance to sit at our table. Half of us don't said that we don't been sleeping with the enemy. We don't let the enemy come in and don't kick up. They don't kick up and prop up their feet. Hmm. Yes, they have. We trying to pet the demon and the devil out to kill us. I don't know if I should have said that on YouTube or on the line. Let me say take us out. So YouTube would kick you out when you say certain words. So if I get kicked out, I may have to come back. Hmm. We over there trying to love. We trying to love them. We trying to love them and make life easy for them and trying to be everything they say they need. And they out trying to. Soon as we turn our back, they you know we got to be chosen one. It's time for us to get more strong. We got to be stronger than that. We got to have more sense than that. We got to heal. We got to heal. And we got to judge a tree by the fruit it bears. Don't judge the tree by what it's saying. And that's another thing. People getting the chosen one's ears. We got to judge their fruit. What their fruit doing, what they're doing, not what they're saying. Oh, that's a blessing, Dwayne. You moving on up. You blessing after blessing. Hmm. Blessing after blessing. That is good. Hmm. But yeah, we got to be more. We got to be wise. We got to heal, chosen ones. We got to heal and know who you are for real. Know who you are for real. Who God says you are for real. Hmm. That's what we got to do. Chosen one. Know who we are for real. Don't let a person come in and tell you who you are not. It's possible, Dwayne. It depends on who you're talking to. Like, um, even family, you got to be careful what you tell them because, especially if God is blessing you, if God is doing new things in your life, I know you want to get excited, and I know it's exciting. You want to tell people. God had to shut me up. He had to shut me all the way. You see, I be talking. Y'all see, I'm on here. I like to talk. So God had to teach me how to be quiet about certain things and certain seasons. Certain things I can't even talk about. I don't even tell a soul about certain things because you get excited. You get excited. Lord doing this, the Lord doing that. I remember I used to be telling the person, different things about what I was doing and the things that I was accomplishing. Child, please, you thought I was telling that person I hated them or something like that because they had no enthusiasm about what I was enthusiastic about. How could you not get enthusiastic unless you're a hater? If somebody coming and telling you, and you're supposed to be in that person's corner, right? You're supposed to be in their corner. If they're coming and telling you some good news, and you sitting there looking stale, look, you looking stale. The person looking stale, and you're conflicted. Like you're supposed to be happy for me. Mm-mm. You got to be careful when you tell stuff. Mm-mm. You got to put everybody in your business. You let them. You just let. Um. It depends. What do you mean? How to not be rude? You don't have to be rude. One thing I've learned, and I had to learn this, I learned this recently by watching a YouTube, and it is so true. It was a YouTube short that taught me this here because I'm a type of person, my honesty, and you know what? I had a manager tell me that. I had a manager tell me that one time. She told me that I was too honest, and I got offended by that. I'm gonna be honest, I got offended. But when I sat down and thought about what she said, no, I don't have to lie about things, but I don't have to give people more information than they ask for. I used to do that. I used to be an oversharer. I used to overshare. You ask me one thing, I don't tell you my whole life story. I had to stop that foolishness. But what you can do, Dwayne, is if a person is asking or prying, you know, in your business, if they're asking like, well, what did you, like what they said, like, did you get the job you were asking for? If they ask a question like that, just an example, you can say, well, why do you want to know that information? You ask them a question. Why do you want to know that information? Why is this information important to you? Them are the two questions you can ask. You don't have to be rude. You just ask them a question. Why is this information important to you? Why do you want to know this information? Or how will this information benefit you? You knowing this information, how will it benefit you? Because they're not going to be ready for that because they're so used to you telling and giving them an answer. No, you ask them a question because people like to be nosy. Trust me, people are prying, trying to find out information, even if they find what they're looking for and they come ask you, well, how does this benefit you? How does you knowing this about me benefit you? How is this going to make your life better because you know this information about me? Tell me, how does this serve you? That's what you got to do to people. hmm That's what you got to do to people. Yes, you got to do that, Jacqueline, because people want to. They're not expecting that. They're so used to you giving them information. They're so used to you telling them things. No, mm-mm. Yes, keep your and when God go to blessing you and doing things in your life, you don't have to let people know. hmm Yeah, and it's okay to be quiet. I know you want. So you like me. I want people to know, like, not what I'm doing, but I get excited. I used to get excited about certain things, and I think everybody see one thing about chosen. This is our problem. I'm gonna tell you this, and y'all put a one in the chat. I'm not trying to reprimand and get on y'all like I'm a mama or something, but the problem with chosen ones, we got to get out of this, and we got to get out of this today, not tomorrow. I'm challenging everyone on this live because you're a chosen one. Everyone on this live, I'm challenging you to stop doing this right here. Stop thinking that everybody's you. Stop thinking that everybody think like you. Everybody don't think like you, chosen one. Everybody do not think like you. The way you see the world, the way you see things, is not everybody's view. That's not everybody's view. Yep, not everybody's view. Once you get that, once you realize, okay, everybody don't think like me. Everybody don't think like me. Everybody's not going to consider everybody else's feelings. Chosen ones, we consider everything. We consider everything. Before I make a decision, I'd be so scared to make a decision, not because it's gonna hurt me. I'd be scared to make a decision because it's gonna hurt somebody else. How crazy is that, chosen one? That's the type of stuff we got to overcome. We got to overcome that. I was so scared to make this one decision because I thought about everybody who was at arm's reach that it may affect. I thought about everybody. But I bet you on the other hand, that person didn't think about nobody else. They didn't think their actions. And see, people do this. When they do stuff, they don't think about what their actions going to do. They don't think about their actions. They don't think about, if I go do this, how is this going to affect this person? What if my children see this? What if I'm so, what I mean? They don't think like that. Me, I think like that. I think, like, if I do this and somebody is recording this, how will my children, look at? I think about stuff like that. Well, they can take it as rudeness, Dwayne. Guess what? That's their problem. Yes, Pat, ain't nobody coming to save you but you. I am my rescue. Y'all can support the merch. I am my rescue merch. I designed that shirt myself. Hashtag I am my rescue. Because nobody ain't coming to save you. This why this why God told me to start this channel. We got to be responsible. We got to stand up and we got to do the work on us. We got to stop people in their tracks. And I know it's hard because chosen ones, we've been people pleasers for so long. We people pleasers. We're people pleasers. We consider everybody else's feelings. We want everybody else happy. We don't want to hurt nobody. That's not us. We don't just go around hurting people. That's why when y'all return the favor sometime to people, that's why they be shocked. When y'all finally conjure up the strength, because you know it takes too much strength out of chosen ones. Y'all know it takes so much strength. It takes so much strength to be mean and nasty. It's like we look, it's like we pulling a plug out of us to give off that much negativity, energy, and hate. It takes something out of us. That's why we don't get involved. It's not that we can't. That's why we'll cut you off. That's why chosen ones will cut you off before we allow you to keep taking us and dragging us through the mud. We'll stop dealing with you. That's why we give people chance after chance, because once we get to that point of no return, after we get to that point, it's hard to come back. And you're welcome, Patty. It's hard to come back. It's hard to come back. Chosen ones we be, boy, we don't we and see we don't want to go there, because see that's why I tell y'all, people take our strength, people take our kindness for weakness. It take a lot for us to be mad, get mad. It take a lot for us to cut a person off completely. It takes a lot. We give chance after chance, chance after chance, and God knows we really give people chances. Yeah, God knows we give people chances. He knows we do. He knows we give people chances, because he know when we cut them off, that's it. We don't want nothing to do with them. They don't even exist on the earth to us anymore, because we don't give them chances. We don't give them chances. We tried to. They don't even be existing. They don't be existing no more. And once we get to that place, we know we don't hate them. We just know we're done. Yes, we're very intelligent, Patty. And see, people think we're green because we're so kind. See, and the reason, let me tell you something, Patty. I'm gonna tell you this. Yes, I have. You can go. You can get this from my store too, Jacqueline. My workout shirt. Yep, you can get this from my store. I just made this one. Well, I just added the logo to this one. And let me tell you, Patty, why they think we're, you know, they think we're dumb. Let me tell you. Let me give you a little hint why they think this. They think we're dumb because they would not give us as many chances as we give them. Remember, I said they're not us, right? They are not us. We think people are us. They're not us. That's why when you do something to people like this, when you do something to them, that's why they think the world has ended. That's why they think you have just, you know, they think just the worst. But they've been doing stuff to you for years and years and years. You've forgiven them for so many things you don't lost count. But as soon as you do one or two things, make one or two mistakes, you do something they did to you, oh, they'll never forgive you. Oh, they'll never forgive you. They're gonna hold that grudge, and to be honest, they're gonna get payback. They're gonna get revenge on you. Listen, they're gonna get revenge on y'all. Y'all know it. Put them one in the chat. People don't got revenge on y'all. Y'all thinking y'all don't moved on, don't got past that. As soon as you get in the argument, they don't brought what happened in 1982. You don't did something in 1982, so they don't brought that back up. And they held on to that all that years. Here we are, 2023, and they brought up 1982. You don't forget about 1982. It don't been so long. You don't forgot about it because you don't went past it. Look, you don't forgot about 1982. They got that thing computed in their head. 1982 is calculated, computed, and document, transcribed, imprinted. stamped. What they used to do to the little cows when they used to brand that thing branded in their head, but let you do it. That's why with these type of people, you got to let them go. Yep, you got to let them go. Yes, Dwayne, I do, dear. It's dollar sign responsibility, dollar sign the name of the business. Hmm. You'll see my little black logo, this little black logo. But listen, look, they don't got that thing branded. They don't look. They got that thing imprinted. They don't even made a little note. They gonna pull that little note out every time y'all get into an argument. But remember, in 1982, you don't forget when I tell you, you don't forget. You got a list of things. Look, you know how Santa. You remember back in the days when they told us a lot about Santa Claus, and he had the little naughty list. He had the list of people he was going to, and on the cartoons, when he take the list out, that list roll down. Right, that list rolled down long of all the people who've been naughty or all the people who are going to get gifts. That's how your forgiveness was with the toxic person. That list so long, it don't ran down to the next street. And your little list can barely roll your little list, you can hold your list up as a piece of paper. The things, they need to forgive you for. You can hold it like this. And that trumps all that list that don't went to the next street. Listen, listen. Oh wow. Oh, that's crazy. Pamela. But I can believe that. Some of the mothers, look, some of these mothers, when I tell you they're so evil and toxic with their children. Yes, Jacqueline, they're gonna come for you, girl. They sitting there planning. And the sad part, they sitting there planning. The thing is, you thinking they don't forgave you. Y'all, you don't move on because you're a chosen one. You are you. You think that you don't moved on, y'all don't got past that in your head. But in their head, they don't did all kind of behind your back to get you back. They don't did so much things behind your back. You don't even know they did them. Because in your head, you don't think they got past it and you're not looking for stuff. You're not looking for stuff. Oh my goodness. Pamela. Yes, they're very vindictive. Look, that's why people you got to stop thinking people think like you chosen ones. You forgive people easily. You forgive people. That's one thing about chosen ones, we'll forgive them. We'll forgive people and move on and act as if nothing happened. But them toxic folks, them ones that are vindictive, oh no, they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait. You look, you don't you 92 years old. That's why y'all got to pray, Lord. Pray over these kids. I'm telling y'all, pray over your children, your in-laws, your husband. Listen, you 92 years old. You don't did stuff you don't even remember. And you don't got that child that came back 92 talking about you beat them when they were 10 for stealing stuff. You beat them when they were 10 and they don't help you. I gotta be careful, man. That's why you just gotta be careful. You can't let certain you got listen, listen. But it's true. But Pamela, I feel for you, dear. I can understand. I can understand. Yeah, they shouldn't have, yeah. But you know what, Pamela? Everybody didn't have the spirit of discernment, honey. Especially when it came to that. They ain't had a spirit of discernment. Because it's not for everyone. The chosen ones, we knew right off the rip. No, I ain't doing that. Off the rip. Yeah, that's the best thing to do, Pamela. That's the best thing to do, dear. And heal. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. If you have any questions, you can always email me, dear. And I know it's hard. That's the hardest thing. And that's where the enemy attack, especially the chosen ones. The enemy attack you with your family. There is so much shaking up. You can just Google, put in YouTube, put in the search bar on YouTube, How people talking about they had to walk away from their family, they had to walk away from their mama, they had to walk away from their daddy, they had to walk away from their entire family. The enemy is using families in this time against the chosen ones. But see, it's so hard for people because you're going against your wiring. We were wired to believe that family is supposed to be there for us and love us. But yet these are the very people that are harming me. So we got to unlearn that. You unlearn that. Your family are those people who care for you. Your family don't have to be blood. But we were taught that. But the enemy is using family in this time. That's why I tell people, stop judging people's situations. Stop saying that, I never do this to my mom. I never do this to my mama, my daddy. If your parents are toxic, you will do certain things. Yes, you would. If your parents are toxic, you got to honor them, but you will walk away. I don't judge people's situation because I've experienced people parents out to harm their own children. I've experienced people moms jealous of their own children. I want my children to do better than me. I want my daughters to go as far. I want them to be. My goal as a mother was to make sure my children didn't get pregnant as a teen, to keep them away from drugs because I saw what it did to my family, to my mom and my dad, and to let them be free, becoming who God is going to, make them become, allow them to become, or shape them to become. Even if they're not going to do and choose the life that I wanted for them. Because parents, we can want a life for our children, but when they become adults, they're not going to choose that life. But my job is to still love them through their decisions. But you have people so jealous of that. They so jealous of you and the relationship you have with your children. You got these grandparents that's jealous, moms jealous, dads jealous. They see how you operate with your children, and they want to come between that. It is, Pamela, because God wants you to tap into your creativity, dear. You got things in you. You got gifts in you. You got things in you that you can use to bring you an income. You have to believe that. I want to know about the chosen ones. The chosen ones are very creative. You have to know it. That's why you got to find people that's going to help bring that out of you. That's why I don't agree with people when they say certain things like you don't need this person, you don't need a coach, you don't need this person. Yes, you do. You need somebody. You need somebody to tell you and help you and show you what you got inside of you. Because someone helped me. I didn't do it by myself. I knew I had different gifts and talents, but I had coaches to help me see what was in me. I invested on the level that I could afford, and I prayed and asked God to take me and show me these, people and places, and He did it. I'm gonna get ready to go get my baby. Let's see. Mm. But yeah, you got people jealous. They jealous because they're not genuinely loving. They're not genuinely caring. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. You got people that are so jealous, so jealous. Hmm. And when they get jealous like that, their goal and their job is to cause chaos and confusion. That's their job. Their job is to cause chaos and confusion, plant bad seeds and lies, you know, put negativity in somebody's head. That's what their job is. Their job is to do what their father knows how to do. Steal, kill, and destroy. It's their job to create chaos and confusion amongst people, amongst children, amongst mother and daughter, amongst father and son, amongst, they deliberately do this. Although the word of God says it's gonna happen, but you got toxic people. They they choose um they choose certain I think I locked my door. They choose to create chaos and confusion because they love it. hmm I need to get me a car stand so I can talk to y'all while I'm in the car. Yeah, they love it. Yes, constant chaos. Because you know what? They create chaos. They can keep confusion. That's how they weaken the system. They weaken the system because you're gonna be focused on the confusion. Hold on. And they don't have their life going well. You know, you enjoying your children. You're sitting there. You can sit down and you can talk to your kids. You know, y'all can enjoy one another. You know, y'all can talk about things. You don't try to judge your children, but they'll come in and then one little disagreement, you have with your child to try to get understanding because that's what happened to me. One little disagreement, you come in, you trying to understand certain things and different dynamics, and the enemy will use that situation to blow it up bigger than what it is. And when I do my parents one-on-one class, I'm gonna share that story. I just have to make sure I get situated and stuff. Um, I got to make sure I get situated and stuff, and because I want it to be on Zoom. But they'll take one situation and blow it out of proportion. When I know for sure, I know who I am, and I understand that my children are going to go through their own stuff. But they'll infect and put so much venom in the mix. You don't know the truth. And see, your children are not strong as you. Your children then go through the fire. They're still trying to find their way. They still trying to find their walk. It's just like a baby birdie. They just getting out of the nest. So they trying to find their wings. They don't know their strength. And people will come in and take advantage of that. They'll take advantage of that and use that situation, that vulnerable situation against you. But when you know who you are, and when God delivers you, and you rise up out that thing like a phoenix, because you thought it was going to take you out. But now this is a lesson. And I can teach people how to deal with stuff like this now. I can teach them how to fight this. I can teach them how to, when this happened, this is what you have to do. What the enemy thought was going to be for my harm and to take me out of here, what the enemy thought was going to be the death of me, God blessed me. He blessed me. But I wanted to say that I got to go pick up my daughter. We're going to get our eyebrows waxed. But y'all be blessed. And I'll come back and talk to you all soon, okay? Be blessed.